Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth episode of the Daily Reads podcast. I hope that everyone had a great week and is going to have a great week ahead. This is your host Akash Joshi and today I shall be discussing some of the best articles that I have read recently with their accompanying links in the Substack. So, listing them in no particular order, let's begin. Firstly, there was an interesting article going around in Hacker News and other tech communities about how the Firefox browser needs to change to compete with Google by a programmer and tech writer who goes by the name Snaz. They compare Firefox's and Chrome's new user flow and show how Firefox's flow feels a little bit sleazy as compared to Chrome, even though Firefox is supposed to be more privacy focused than Chrome. Firefox is also less user friendly because it's targeted towards developers, while Chrome is very natural for anyone to use. It's a small and interesting article, and do check it out in the Substack. Next up, I would like to introduce an interesting but devastating incident which had happened in the past of my city, Pune. I had learned of this incident from my grandfather quite recently, and I didn't know about it as it isn't largely discussed by the city's populace. The incident is situated in 1961 and is about a then newly constructed dam called Panshet Dam. The material from which the dam was built was not allowed to be appropriately strengthened, which meant that the dam's walls had cracks in them and the dam was structurally weak. Unfortunately, in the accompanying monsoon season, the dam was starting to get filled up with water. The army knew that a situation like this would go bad. They guessed that the dam its walls might break. So they started filling up the cracks by deploying thousands of sandbags overnight. This managed to delay the inevitable by a few hours. But unfortunately, by the next morning, the dam's walls had started to crack and the water was starting to leak out. The water levels in major parts of the main city were reached up to 2 stories. And unfortunately, as the average height of the buildings in that time was just 1 or 2 stories, a large number of people were drowned in the ensuing floods. Most of the people had fled to the outskirts of the city, and a majority of the displacement resulted in the expansion of the city. So the structure of the expanded parts of the current city are mainly attributed to the displacement patterns caused by the flood during that time. So this is quite an interesting but horrifying part of the city's history. I've linked a few articles in the Substack where you can research more about this topic. Next up, we have a really honest and interesting article by the indie maker Diana Allen. She writes about her indie maker journey, where she started as a digital nomad and how she reached where she is right now. It's a really interesting article and I won't spoil it for you in the show. So do check the link out in the Substack. And lastly, you should look at the article Valley Ahoy by the Economic Times. It gives information about how B2B Indian companies are preferring to set up shop in the Valley because of their closeness to their American clients, American lifestyle, and find that the life there is quite better. The article is a medium-sized read, so do check it out in the Substack. To the Indian founders also quickly adopt. Finally, since we are featuring the indie maker Diana Allen's blog post today in the show, we are going to feature her project Budget Meal Planners. Budget Meal Planners is a website and newsletter where Diana recommends daily meals which cost under $5 to its users. The food recipes on the site look quite tasty and interesting, so do check it out at budgetmealplanner.com. Thanks for tuning in for today, guys, and see you all in the next episode. If you install the Anchor app, you can send voice notes directly to me. I would like to hear any comments or suggestions that you guys have. Also share this podcast with other people, which helps me immensely. You can check out all the links to the articles and the project at dailyreads.substack.com.